Baby, let me tell you. So Franklin is embodying the mindset of a drug dealer, of a dope dealer. Listen, it is all about what I can gain, how shit is going to benefit me. Listen, if you can't help me, then what is the point of you being connected to me? That is what he is giving us for me in this episode. What's up? How you doing, Ray of Sunshines? I am your girl, Talisa Ray. I'm also a wife coach for y'all new to my channel. We are reviewing Snowfall, season number 4, episode number 3, all the way down. I know y'all looking like, okay, you just now coming. I'm here, though. I'm here. I made it. I saw y'all. I heard y'all. I'm here. So if you're new to my channel, I also try and go like main character by main character. So character. So that would be like Franklin and his crew, Oso or Gustavo and Reed. You know, now they're inserting new characters. So I don't know how well this is going to work, but we're gonna see, right? I'm gonna do it that way this time, and if it doesn't work, then we'll do scene by scene. All right, let's get into it. Let's start with Gustavo, Oso. Last episode, we saw Gustavo being Oso for his little cousin. I can't think of the cousin's name in the wheelchair, but him and the wife, you know, they all live in the house that is now the Underground Railroad for drugs. Y'all know that already. Well, listen, I'm gonna try and just kind of insert stuff that I know. What I know is that the Mexican police, La Policia, I don't know, I forget what they are because they are not the federales, but actually are trying to get Reed and to give more money to you know, smuggle his drugs or whatever. Well, I guess he ain't do what they said fast enough, because baby, the first scene it opens up is Maria and her husband being found by Gustavo on the floor, child, dead, with $100,000 written on the top. The 2 children are gone. They took them, killed their parents, and took the kids and wrote $100,000. Listen, rightfully so. You walk in and you see your family on the floor dead, you about to go nuts. You gonna lose your mind. So much so that he wants vengeance. He's sitting at the door waiting for people to come through the door, like they gonna come back to where they was after killing the people. Now, come on, y'all. We know that they're not coming back to that scene. Even if they want the ransom, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to have to, or is it $100,000 like for the delivery? Because you know what I'm saying? It's not really a ransom. Nevertheless, we ain't gonna be coming back to the scene of the crime. Like, that's a little unrealistic, but he's got his shotgun at the door. If it's a shotgun, it might not be a shotgun. If y'all know what gun it is, let me know down below in the comments. But pointing at the door, and Reed comes in, you know, rightfully so, tiptoeing, goes over there and looks and sees the dead bodies. So, you know, Gustavo's all like, I got to go handle this. Reed's like, no, let's not start no trouble. Let's not, you know, we gonna handle it. Let's do it a different way. Honey, I don't know why that man decided to get in his way. He knocked him the fuck down. Knocked him down, went on outside, went to where he thought Fuentes, that's his name, Fuentes was. He gets hit by a rock. I said, see, he told you not to go. He told you not to go, but you so hot-headed that you can't think. Like, that be the problem. We be acting out of our emotions. Even when we, like, you know, you gangsters, somebody got to be a level head to think shit through. That's how people get caught. That's how people get caught up. But it was actually the federales. No, it wasn't. It was DFS. So I don't know, what is DFS? Department of something and something. It's not, or is it the federales? Y'all, is DFS and the federales the same people? Y'all, let me know. Department of something. Department of something. Let me know down below in the comments, because I'm not sure. But they knocked him in the head and drug him in, and Reed came walking in. Like, I originally thought it was Fuentes people, but I was like, they well dressed in suits and stuff. Like, they left. Reed walks in, and Reed, you know, Gustavo's like, what's up? What is this? Now the cat is out of the bag. Reed, aka Teddy, had to let him know, I am CIA and now so are you. I had to do this so that you don't get yourself hurt. We're going to take care of it. Well, they sitting in the building because they're about to get some information from DFS. I really need to know what that stands for. And, you know, also it's like, listen, I'm in as long as we get these fools, as long as they die, as long as we kill them. Other than that, I'm not gonna be able to do it. So they go in and they talk to, I don't know, some head woman, you know what I'm saying? And they're letting them know, listen, we know all about them. We've got this whole file on them. We know where they live. We know all the information, but we will help you under these circumstances. There will be no execution. There will be no scenes made. There will be no blowing up police stations or any of that. You know, it has to be within our realm, but he has a place out far. He got a compound out far, and we can, you know, flush him out, have word that the DFS and DA are looking for him, and flush him there. Gustavo's like, that's gonna take too long. So what we need to do is make him scared. Listen, the lady knows that he's reckless and in his feelings right now. A little later, you see Reed and Gustavo staking out one of the guys that killed his family. Gustavo's all like, I'll be right back. Oh, Reed, like, where you going? What you doing? Where you going? Why? No, no public scenes. Don't make, you know, don't make a spectacle where everything is seen. Honey, Gustavo is not listening. Like, that whole anger thing he's got going, that is fueling him. That vindication, that vindictiveness, that eye for an eye is fueling him right now. And so he goes in and follows him. Like, okay, so first off, you Billy Badass and you don't know nobody following you. You don't see this, y'all just letting this dude in with this hood on his head like this, looking like he about to go and stir some trouble. Y'all just gonna let him in? Well, yeah, they did. And he knocked him the fuck out. And not only did he do that, he threw him over the roof, off the building. I said, oh, he is not playing any games. And then to make it even more gruesome, he carved $100,000 into the man's forehead, okay, in his forehead, to make sure that Fuentes and his people knew, like, it's us, same message, you know who it is. So when the police show up, they see it and they like, who are these guys? Who are they? What do we know? And it is exactly what the plan was to flush him to the ranch. We're gonna lay low until we figure out who they are. Well, because he's so hot-headed and didn't think things through, when he meets up with Reed, Reed's all like, yo, you went all cowboy. It is exactly what they did not want us to do. And because you did that, now we're in a place where it's just me and you. Where we had backup, we don't have that no more. And what we know is, it's a gang of them over there at the compound. It's a gang of them. And so now we finna take on them. We're gonna take on them. Listen, they did. They did, honey. And I was here for it. Because honestly, I was like, they all need to die. They all need to die. But I mean, that's the game that you're in when you are running drugs, trafficking drugs. You know, you've got to pay the price to be the piper. And it cost you more than what they were asking for. Yeah. So anyway, Gustavo said, listen, Reed, I hear you. I'm gonna follow the rules, whatever your rules are now, until it looks like we're not going to kill them, because what I need them is dead. Okay, I will kill. In his mind, he's probably like, I will kill you just to kill them. Listen, when they get to the compound, it got to be about 10 to 15 of them. They got on some vests. Also, in Reed, they got on some bulletproof vests and they got their little guns. It's about 10 or 15 people, okay, at the compound. Now, the first group was definitely a sneak attack and all of them out. But, I don't know. I mean, we did see them both get shot, right? In the process of this, like, takedown of Fuentes and his deputy or whoever the guy is. We did see them get shot, but I was like, it's a lot of them. I just be feeling like sometimes y'all be doing too much. It's 2 of them and like 20 of them. Okay, I'm exaggerating. Like 8 maybe, but still, that's a lot. Like, well, longer story short, also is waiting for Fuentes and the dude in the back of the police truck. And he shoots the driver, which is the deputy, that's what we're gonna call him because I don't even know his name. Shoots him first, dead smack in the back of the head, and then tells Fuentes to get out the car, shoots his damn kneecaps off. Like, bruh, shoots his kneecaps off, standing over him, and I'm thinking he's about to ask where the kids are. Where's the kids? He ain't asked about them because I guess he can't take care of them, and ends up choking him out with his bare hands. Like, do you understand how much strength and anger has to be in your constitution, in your body, in your hands, and your spirit in order for you to choke somebody? Do you understand? Of course you do. All right, let's keep moving. Now, I'm confused on whether or not I should have Leon by himself or not, because it broke my heart to see them separate the way that they did. However, he's absolutely right. Why are we doing business with Gustavo? His people set us up. Why would you do that? Kevin is dead. Why would you do that? Huh? Like, valid points, all of them. And Franklin, true to form, it's all about business. It's all about business. And earlier in that episode, Leon, or maybe it was episode 1, Leon was like, I'm not gonna be your driver no more. Like, that's not it. Cause you remember, drive, motherfucker. Yeah, I'm not gonna be your driver no more. That's not what we doing. And I'm with it, cause he did treat him like a lackey, like a flunky, like he was beneath him. Even though they both started together. Y'all remember they started together, making crack rocks together, okay? Yeah, but Franklin is doing bricks, okay? Millions and millions of dollars of bricks is what he's doing, is what he's selling. He ain't doing crack rocks no more. That's now Leon in the projects by himself with, I can't think of his little bodyguard dude name. Security. So let's just talk about Leon, because I'm gonna just talk about Leon. When we see him, he's walking through the projects, and there is Wanda. Wanda is so fucking cracked out. Like, if y'all don't know, like when I tell you that this was LA, like this was LA, like in the 80s and in the early 90s, like that is, I mean, they went over a little bit, but that is what it looked like. People were cutting the drugs like that, so they weren't getting they real highs, and they was getting mad because they paying this money. I want to get high. I'm chasing this high, and Wanda looks horrible. Horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Nevertheless, she's arguing with some of the corner boys, like, y'all giving, I'm spending my money, y'all cutting this shit. You know, I ain't even getting the same high, XYZ. Well, that's because Leon does not have his connect anymore. Leon does no longer have Franklin. After that little blow up, Franklin was like, find you a new connect. And Leon is having a hard time, okay? He went to go to the Mexicans, but guess what? They was finna set him up. At least that's how it felt. That's what it looked like. That was the gist of everything. So they out here trying to make it, trying to see. He's gonna have to go ahead and be like, listen, I do my connect. I don't know how this is gonna play out. Like, especially with everything going on with the gang wars. But I'm getting beside myself. The more important part is Wanda's, like, it felt like a come to Jesus moment, like a realization when she was smoking that crack pipe and her tooth came out. Like, even in her cracked out state, she is still vain. Like, I need all my teeth. That was like the thing, the click, like, click. This stuff is not doing me any justice. Cause she's sitting out there with some man and some older woman who gonna go steal her mama dog for $500. They will steal anything. I swear to God, they will go in their mama's house and they will steal anything. Like, if y'all know, like I know, once you found out that your family member was on crack, was on that shit, you would not let them come into your house. Once you realize that what it was, because they would steal everything, your food, everything. Like, man, Okay, so we also have another new player in the game, which is Irene, who is a reporter. She originally she wanted to know about Melody. Went over there and saw Mel, and Mel, you know, now is cultish and loves the Lord, right? It is all about what the Lord would have for her now. Remember, okay, her auntie has gotten her all the way together from crack addict Mel. And also, you know, Franklin had said that he didn't know who had shot him. And, you know, I never talked about how I felt about that, but I'll get all into that in a minute. But in this episode, we see Irene meeting up with, I don't know who that cop is, but he was a friend of Andre's. Listen, I didn't watch all of Trying to Catch Up. I don't know who he is, but he was a friend of Andre's. And he pretty much says, I'm gonna help you because I want Franklin Saint to go to prison. I want him to go down. So he shares everything that he knows about Franklin, about how he feels he killed Kevin, and he got off on the charge, and there's nothing. She's like, I couldn't find anything about that. There's nothing on the records. And he was like, what? I was there. I saw it. He didn't even go to court. He beat the charge. How is that possible? And we know how it's possible. We know that Reed had it wiped clean. Was it in season 2? It was season 2, I think. A little later, we see, you know, because her claim to fame, a lot of the things that she's saying is, I live on Crenshaw and 54th. Okay, nice little area. Listen, y'all ever come to California, y'all can drive by it. That's 60s neighborhood. But they live off of Crenshaw and 54th. And I just really like all the references that they have. The last episode 2, she went to Alton's homeless shelter, trying to get Alton to give some information about, you know, Franklin. You know, these reporters be something else. And that's exactly how they are, like in real life. Like even back then, they were trying to get the story, bust something wide open. But listen, she has a black ex-husband who, you know, is like also her handyman, probably who also was handy as a man when she needed it. But she found out this episode, you know, I'm alone because he got somebody, and my daughter Jane is not fooling with me. So I'm wondering, I guess we're gonna meet Jane this season. The officer comes back and tells her, more information about Lori Cardenas, who miraculously disappeared, who was a DEA agent, whose handler was Tony. I can't remember what his last name was, but now she's about to dig into that. Like, is she gonna be able to expose? It goes so deep. Sometimes I be feeling like, you know, the hood part of me be like, man, you too nosy, kill her too. Like, when are we going to kill her? When? Like, I already want her dead. That's the hood part of me. Anyway, let's talk about Franklin and close this thing out. Y'all remember Officer Nixon, who is bribing Franklin as hush money, as I guess protection. I don't know what kind of protection he's gonna provide, but you know, it's really hush money. And the last episode, Nix had the nerve to show up at Alton's homeless shelter. That's also why Irene was there, or came back in and saw him, you know, threatening him. Tell your son it's double the payment. Because why? Franklin had asked him to take care of. See, I probably have to go and do episode 2 because I tell y'all all of this in order for y'all know it, but I'm doing it so that I have the backstory, right? Anyway, because Franklin was like, I need you to handle them Bloods over there in the bottoms. It's in Inglewood, right? And so he got his people together because he was going to give everybody $20,000 a piece. But he went over there and he saw that, you know, it was the people of the shooting in San Pedro, which was the setup that Franklin had. He was setting up Man Boy and Scully, and they were going to take out all of them. Listen, and in that moment, too, Jerome seemed a little nervous and skittish. Anyway, Nix felt like it was a setup, so that's why he went to go visit Alton at the homeless shelter to be like, tell Franklin he needs to give me double the money for trying to, next time he try to kill me or try to take me out, it's gonna be a problem. So all of this is happening, and you've got Sissy coming up with a plan. If y'all don't know who Sissy is, that is Franklin's mom. Okay, so here we go. So Nix meets Franklin at the diner. Franklin is sitting there with a half-eaten sandwich waiting on him to come in. You know, Nix is feeling like he is the man. Franklin was like, hey, yo, listen, don't go to the shelter. Why would you go to the shelter? Don't bother my family anymore, or else it's gonna be a problem. You know, and then you got Nix like, well, what you gonna do? You know, and Franklin is playing his boss role very well. Also, Franklin has to realize he's gonna have to act on this shit, right? Like, you can't just say it because he is the police and can make your life miserable like they did in real life. Like, I'm actually really happy with how they have accurately depicted a lot of the stuff that's going. Of course, a lot of it is embellished, but a lot of it is spot on, right? The storyline behind it, and it is kind of spot on. Anyway, he said, you know what, Nix, well, what you gonna do? He was like, listen, you ain't got nothing on me. You did 4 months ago, but you ain't got nothing now. So you gonna take this payment that I'm giving you and do your motherfucking job. What? Yes, I like when he gets all gangster like that. I like it, okay? And you gonna shut the fuck up. Nix didn't like that. Nix didn't like it. Nix didn't like it. Ooh, baby. He was like, I know you lying. But you can see that in his mind, in the wheelhouse of Nix's head, he was thinking, oh, you too bad for you. I'm gonna make your life miserable. So Franklin goes to see Miss Mosley at the bookstore, her and her husband. The bookstore is located in Leimert Park. It is a fixture in Leimert Park. You know, it's been there 30 years. And Councilman Davis is trying to take up the block, buy all of this real estate in Leimert Park. Leimert Park is a real ass fucking place that is full of that kind of like nostalgia. There is a bookstore called SO1 Books. It is full of us, our culture. Any Saturday or Sunday you can go and you can see us in Leimert Park. Okay, Leimert Park is not actually a park, but there is a little park, but it's just like the name of the community because there is a park called Leimert Park. Anyway, Franklin goes in there and talks to them about wanting to save the store from the big commercial real estate property, real estate development that's coming in by Councilman Davis. So, you know, he's in there and he's having this conversation trying to tell them that my mother and I, we want to help you. Motherfucker. Meanwhile, Jerome and Louie are meeting up with Man Boy. And listen, like Louie said, Man Boy has to be watched. You can see he's slick, like he finna come from Franklin. Like he like, oh, that nigga Franklin was soft. We didn't see him bust a grape. He ran out of there with that white boy. He crippled. He crippled. He did have his gun. We have seen him kill somebody before. But listen, the fact of the matter is, what was he gonna really do? What was he gonna do? You can see that Man Boy has a plan and that he wants to enact. So while Franklin is meeting with the Mosleys, Sissy is going over to Councilman Davis's house, looking sharp as a tack, okay? In their savvy, professional, sashaying, using all her divine femininity as a woman to speak professionally to this man about a real estate development that they want to be a part of. That they can help them get the pieces of property that they need that are holding them up. I'm all like, oh, the devil is a lie. The devil is a lie. Oh my God, this is so beneficial for them and for them only. It is. Anyway. So he talks about your drug dealer son. You want me to da-da-da-da with your drug dealer son. And she's like, he's no longer in that business. Now, you know he can find out if he's in that business still or not, right? Girl. But this is how it, like, y'all know if you live in an urban area and if y'all had anything like LA did when it came to the drug game, this is exactly how it was played. Hands down, no questions asked. This was it. Like, this was it. Anyway, later that evening, the family is sitting at the table and Alton is not with the plan, because what we find out is to have the bookstore uproot and move to somewhere else. It is to trick them. But I'm getting beside myself. While they're discussing this, Officer Nixon comes to the door with someone and says that they have an arrest warrant for Sissy. Puts her in handcuffs. They draw down because Alton's like, don't touch her. You know, it gets really heated in there. And they put her in the back of the car. And all the time I'm all like, this don't feel right. This don't feel right. Because, listen, that ain't how, I mean, that's how they worked back then. Very disrespectful. Very much so not following protocol. But the fact of the matter is, I was just, my spirit wasn't right. It didn't feel right. Honey, he dropped off the partner, who wasn't really his partner, and took her to the cemetery, to a secluded area, to the cemetery, and saw to look at Andre's tombstone, headstone, and say your son killed him, and banged her head into the tree a couple times and disappeared and left. And I was like, oh, this isn't a good look. This isn't a good look. I'm glad he didn't kill her, but my God, I was like, he made a mistake. He made a mistake because the ruthlessness that Franklin has, honey, has to come from somewhere. And though the mother is very much so pristine and gracious and kind, she is probably the most ruthless. I always think about the women in the game. More ruthless a lot of times than the men, because we have to exert more authority, because people be thinking we be playing with y'all. Ain't nobody playing. I think about Louis, and I think about Claudine. What was her name? Claudia. Anyway, so he leaves, she goes and she calls her family. They come and they get her. You can see that she's got a little bit of disgust in her face with Franklin, but she comes back and she says, make that deal happen. Because guess what? Once I got the councilman on my side, we all in. Once we got this councilman who has friends in high places, who is very charismatic and persuasive, we can handle him and any other problem with the police that we might have. Like, that was all that. I was like, sissy, yes, I ain't finna play no games with you, okay? So Franklin goes back to the Mosleys in the bookstore and convinces them to sign over the bookstore, their deed, because he can handle things for them. And it's still gonna be your bookstore. I'm just gonna be a backer, an investor. And I was like, this is how people get scammed all the fucking time. Though they got money, he gave them a cashier's check for the bookstore. He's now saying that this bookstore, this property that you guys have owned for 30 years now belongs to Franklin and Sissy Enterprises, whatever their real estate company is called. Making it smooth out. I'm all like, oh, this just don't feel right. It's all snaky to me. Then we see him with Councilman Davis saying, I have acquired the property. And what would you do if you had this one sole property that was stopping this big real estate investment, a real estate development from happening? What would you do if it was a multi-million-dollar whatever? He was like, I would ask for 10 million. I mean, 10% of it. Matter of fact, I would demand 10% of it. You know, and it was Franklin saying, what would you do? But you know what you would do, so that's what I'm saying I want done. You know, and who... Councilman Davis, who is just as swindly and sneaky and slithery as Franklin, and says, you know what, the councilman, let's have lunch next week sometime, because they now need to discuss this new brewing deal that they are going to have. But because they have that connection, Nix is fucked. When Nix goes into work and his captain calls him, he says, listen, you're on desk duty. You're going to be in evidence. You're not going to be on the street. He was like, this is a joke. He was like, let me tell you something. If you do anything at all, not only are you going to get fired, but you will be in front of going on trial. I was like, they didn't play with him. They did not play with him. Now, Franklin goes back to the Mosley's bookstore and says, you know, hi Franklin, how is everything going? Franklin does not soften the blow. He does not sugarcoat. Don't go around no mulberry bush. Don't apologize for nothing. Just straight up says, you guys have to move. We've got another building that you can go to. But you have to go. And not only that, you have to go by Friday. Fuck you, Franklin Saint. I don't want your shit. Y'all get to keep the money though. We get to keep the money, but my legacy in this building is gone. This is gone for your new development you want to bring? I did not like that at all. But I'm going to be honest, that is how the game is played. What is it that I could get? How much can I get for it? Who am I going to step on? In order to be in his position, you have to make those kind of ruthless, selfish decisions. Y'all, listen, I'm back. Y'all will get episode 4 probably Thursday or Friday. I just reviewed 2 things on Wednesday, but my life has been a little hectic. So I'm going to upload next week 4 and so on and so on and so on. If you want me to come back and review 1 and 2, let me know down below in the comments. I'll see if I can fit it in with my schedule. We shall see. Listen, let me know down below in the comments what you thought about this whole episode, or even the series so far, episode 3. I think that they are doing it justice. I was concerned with John Singleton passing away that they would not be able to have this kind of storyline, but they are doing well. Why? Because the writers are still there, right? The writers who can do research and ask questions and ask real life drug dealers that was here in the 80s and real life gangbangers and ask them things, what happened. They can read newspapers and shit to find out, look at documentaries to see really what it was about. So I'm actually really happy with how things are going. Listen, thank you so much for watching my review of Snowfall season 4 episode number 3. If it is your first time visiting my channel, definitely you should be clicking that subscribe button to become a ray of sunshine. Right next to it is the notification bell. Click all so you're notified of all the videos I upload and when I upload them. Like this video because you like me. Share this video because you want other people to like me too. Last but not least, I want every good thing that God has in store for you, even if you don't know what that is for yourself. Hugs and kisses and lots of love. I'll catch you on the next review.